What's up, movie freaks? Here we are, another episode, Silver Screen Symposium, continuing through Christopher Nolan's films today. I'm Vilcams, and here with me today.
I'm Film Thespian. How's it going?
Another gladiator here.
And
I don't know what was going.
today we're looking at Memento. So this is Christopher Nolan's second feature film, yeah? And I'm going to tell you where you can watch it now. We're going to include that bit, okay? First off, you can buy it. DVD, Blu-ray, have a physical copy, own it yourself. Don't rely on the streaming services. But if you do just rely on streaming services, this one is pretty available. You can watch it on Hulu, on AMC Plus, Sundance Now, Peacock, Fossum, Netflix, Plex, Pluto TV, CW, Roku Channel, and Tubi. Okay? No excuse not to watch this movie. It's everywhere. Yeah. It's literally everywhere.
Yeah, go watch it. If you haven't.
I recognize half of those streaming services. It's gotten out of hand. It's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, there's a lot.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, obviously I support you getting it physically. You own it that way. Nobody can take it away from you. Because if you stream, it can get taken off.
Yep.
If you're watching this years after this was posted, it may not be on any of those streaming services. That's why physical. And also, even if you buy it on, Fandango or Amazon, Apple TV, or wherever you can buy digital movies, if they want to, they can take it away. So.
Yep. It can disappear.
Physical media. Get it.
There was literally that whole what was that called? The one that disappeared. I don't remember if people were able to I feel like they did something to be able to transfer their movies, but Ultraviolet, is that what it was called? The big digital copy thing for a while, it's gone now. It doesn't exist anymore. People had thousands of movies digitally through there, and I don't remember because I didn't do too much with them. I was always doing the Vudu, which is now Fandango or whatever, when I do digital ones, but it was a big thing there when that was disappearing. People were worried about losing their collections.
Yeah. So, yeah. Physical media.
Yep.
Physical media.
Own it physically.
Yeah. And if you like my collection, maybe William should do a video of his collection because he's got a way bigger than me.
I do have some collection videos actually on my channel, Vilcams. There's some videos just kind of looking at all my collection, and then I've done a specific video on my Arrow videos for sure. And I think I started doing Criterion, but there's a lot of those, so I don't think I have finished that. But I do have some collection videos on my YouTube channel if you do like looking at physical media.
Yeah, so go check that out.
Indeed.
All right, William, what movie are we discussing today, and why? Did you pick
Memento.
Memento.
Because it's Christopher Nolan's second movie, and that's where we are on the progression of Christopher Nolan movies that we're covering.
Really?
Yes, that is why we picked it.
That is why we picked it. Sorry, I said expectations, and then Nathaniel was asking a question, so.
Oh. Nathaniel.
I don't know where we're going. I don't know where we're going.
He hasn't seen it before, that's all I was asking.
No, this is the first time.
I have seen it before. It was a really, really long time ago. So this was probably... I would have been a teenager. This was probably around when I was first really getting into movies. like as I like film as an art form. And the reason too for watching it or for finding out about it and watching it was actually not Christopher Nolan, because I didn't really know who he was, but it was actually because of Guy Pearce, because he was one of the early people that I was kind of recognizing as a really good actor.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah.
I haven't actually seen Guy Pearce in a lot of movies. Only seen him in a few, but he's good every time he has shown up.
Yeah.
I've seen this. I think this viewing would be my third.
Mm.
I watched it really long time ago, back when I was getting into Nolan. And then I watched it like 2 or 3 years ago again as a rewatch. And then I rewatched it yesterday.
Gotcha. So Ian has seen it once now. I've seen it twice, and you've seen it 3 times.
Yep.
Wow.
You know.
Ian is processing that in his head right now.
Yeah, really. I don't count. I'm just doing a bit.
Just
Yeah,
put
I've
up the
actually
little
done
loading bubble over his screen for that.
right on my forehead. Yeah, I've actually been wanting to see this movie for a while, because I remember you talking about it, William, and from when you watched it and you really liking it and stuff. So my expectations were actually pretty high for this film.
Mm.
And I gotta say, I was not disappointed.
Nice.
So
Yeah, my expectations were pretty good too. Like I said, it'd been a long time since I'd seen it. I remember it being one of those like, oh, this was a really, really good movie, like when I watched it, years and years ago. So I was just kind of hoping that was still going to hold up, and it wasn't like, I thought that was a really good movie, but turns out it was actually garbage. I was a young dumb kid. But yeah, so I was hopeful that it was going to still be a really good film.
Yeah. I think I watched it more recently than you. So I still had a pretty high fondness for it. So I knew going into it that I was going to like it. But it had been a minute since I'd seen it, so it was kind of rushing to go back. And yeah, for whatever reason, I feel like Leonard, because I can, for whatever reason, never remember how it ends.
Oh yeah.
Whenever I go back to it, I'm like, I remember loving that movie. Don't remember how it ends, which is kind of nice because you can go back into it and kind of be like, get that kind of oh my gosh moment again.
Yeah.
I probably, now that we're gonna like actually talk about it, I probably will remember how it ends the next time I go to see it. We'll see.
Yeah.
It might be another 5 years before I see it.
Yeah.
I'd say this is definitely pretty high for my recommendations. I definitely recommend this movie for sure. Because obviously we're going to be getting into spoilers, so if you want to see the movie, definitely go watch it before. Click away and go watch. It's really good. It's one of those movies that, yeah, you will like understand it more on like a second watch, but like that first watch is really just like the magic of it,
Yeah.
So, do yourself a favor, go watch it, and then return to us. 3 Stooges on YouTube. We talk about movies. Anyway, yes, highly recommended.
Highly.
Yeah, I also highly recommend it for, I think, pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
I think if you don't enjoy this movie, then maybe you don't like movies. I don't know. Because it's pretty good.
I had started a movie night with some of my friends, where the whole idea behind the movie night was to be kind of like a book club. You know how like you'll read the book, then you'll meet up, and then you'll talk about the book.
Yeah.
That was the point. That was what my whole idea behind the movie night was. We'd watch the movie, and then at the end of the movie, we'd discuss it.
Yeah.
It didn't usually work out that way because everybody just kind of wanted to go home afterwards. They weren't really like, I'm tired, I want to go home. So, but it was also another thing that I wanted to do is introduce people to movies that they might not otherwise watch. And Memento was one of those movies, which is why I watched it like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever that was. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of people were really, really liked it. And there were a few people there who were like very confused by like the time jumping. And but they still enjoyed it. They just were like, you know,
Yeah.
confused and like shook by like just the time jumping and the fact that it runs backwards rather than forwards is
Right. Yeah, it's definitely I could see that. I don't think it's like too hard to follow. I think it does really good at presenting the information when you're supposed to know it, but there's definitely a lot of things that if you're not like paying super close attention, you might just overlook or miss or not realize that they're presenting that information to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like the way it's like presented and stuff, like themes and whatnot. I felt like this was just such a huge step up from following.
Yeah.
Because they are two pretty similar movies and out of order crime thriller kind of movies, so it's like, but this one was just miles better in my opinion. It was just like a huge step up from going from the following, or just following, sorry, to Memento is just like such a huge progression for Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
I liked it. I don't know. I know I'm still getting into his filmography. I still need to experience a lot of his stuff, but as of right now, this is definitely my favorite of his.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
Cool.
nice.
Bad now.
But yeah, like I still kind of feel like I've only seen one other, or like two others, because I just don't even feel comfortable having an opinion on the other four that I saw. So it's like, yeah, it's just been so long. I just like, I don't even want to say if I liked it or not. I don't know.
Yeah, you'll have to stick around for our future episodes to find out if Ian does in fact like them or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I like it. I remember liking them, okay, but I could just be stupid. I could have been a stupid kid.
And also, it's hard to compare when like one is more recent in your mind than the other ones. And
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, going through all of them on here will give us a pretty good idea on how we're viewing them and thinking about them. So,
definitely, super excited about it.
Yeah.
Yes. It'd be great. So yeah, definitely subscribe, follow for that. Anyway.
Yeah. And then so before we go any further, if you haven't seen the movie, go ahead, pause the video and go watch it real quick.
Highly recommended. You do.
Yeah, and because I think, is there anything else spoiler free before we start like really diving in?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
It's kind of hard to talk about a lot of this stuff in this without.
So yeah, go ahead, hit pause, open up a new tab, go watch it, and then come back.
Yeah.
And discuss it with us after.
No! Do it! I'm yelling. I'm gonna yell at every single person watching these videos to go watch the movie. I'm gonna yell at you until you go do it. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry. I apologize for yelling at you.
All right.
Please,
We are
stick around.
now in spoiler territory. You have been warned.
Indeed.
All right. Favorite scenes? We start there.
Ooh, favorite scenes.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's much harder this time than last time.
Yeah.
I do. One that has always kind of stuck with me that I do really enjoy is this. There's a moment where where it switches to color, and he is just running, and he's like, "All right, what am I doing?" And he just looks over and sees another guy running. He's like, "All right, I'm chasing this guy," and he goes after him, and then he comes at him with a gun. He's like, "Oh nope, he's chasing me."
Yeah, that was actually what I was going to bring up too as a very fun moment.
That's actually one of the scenes, like the only scene that I've ever seen before actually watching the movie. It was like, just that out of context was like something that kind of got me interested in it, but I was just like, can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the standout like individual scenes. It is kind of hard to pick out individual scenes from this because it all kind of just works together so well. Another one though, since I gotta I'll pick a different one from what Nathaniel got. Another one that stood out a lot was once it's probably in like the final third or quarter or so of the movie, as we're like learning more and more. Where it goes from Natalie coming back in saying that the drug dealer dude or whatever beat the fuck out of her and all this and yada yada, and then the next scene is like you find out that he hit her, and then she was just literally went outside, waited for him to forget, and then come back in and spun a different story. And he didn't have his pen. She knew he didn't have his pen on him. He couldn't write down, so he wasn't going to remember. And just like that was really well done.
A nice detail in that is like she knew that he didn't have the pen, but she also took the pens out of the place that he was looking at for a pen. Like she took them out before
yeah.
That was a nice detail that I noticed.
Yeah, so it was like at that point she understands his condition well enough and she knows what she's doing there, and she's like spinning her story because there's nothing he can do. He's not going to remember.
Yeah, that was another scene I was going to bring up too. Yeah, I really like that scene as well. Like the whole movie, you're just like, oh, this is someone he can rely on more.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe he's like falling in love with and things, and then as it just keeps going, you're like, oh crap, she's just messing with him.
Yeah, and I do like how the movie overall progresses in that way. Like, you're like, okay, I don't know much of what's going on, but he's got these few bits of information. Like, okay, he can trust Natalie, and she's, helping him out because she's a good person and all this. And then Teddy, can't trust him, don't believe his lies, yada yada. And it's just as the movie progresses and you learn more and more about, each of those characters is chef's kiss.
The writing is really well done on the movie for sure.
Yeah.
So I think it's really funny that 2 actors from The Matrix are in this movie. Like,
Oh.
weird.
Okay, so I know Natalie is. Who was the other one?
Teddy.
Oh, Teddy was in The Matrix too.
Yeah. Yeah. He betrays him. He's the guy that like betrays him in the Matrix.
Never seen
Gotcha.
that movie
It's
in
been a
so
long time since I watched that one, and I wasn't crazy about it to begin with, so I don't remember a ton.
Yeah, they're both in it, and it's like interesting.
Gotcha.
And then it's like,
And this was like right after that too, because what, The Matrix was like 98 or 99 or something. This is like 2000.
Yeah.
So it's like right after. Did Christopher Nolan like work on set on The Matrix or something? Did he meet them?
Maybe. Or maybe it was just a coincidence. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, Ian, what's your favorite scene?
I don't know if I can pick one favorite scene, man.
What's another scene that stands out?
I don't got nothing. I gotta be honest. I just don't have anything. The progression of the whole film and the way information is given to the viewer and to the characters and stuff. It's all like together. The whole film is just like one scene for me. I don't know. I mean, I agree with your guys' points with like those specific scenes that you were talking about. I would be on board with that, but like at the same time, I just can't. Which is a good thing, because I like picking like favorite scenes and stuff for a lot of films are just like mostly easy, you know?
Yeah.
Depending on the film, but like this was one that it was just like can't really do that.
Yeah.
It just flows so nicely the way that the information is presented. Like one scene finishes where the last scene ended, or like or like where it started. You're like, oh, so that's how we got to that point in the last one. Like, which it just works really well for his condition, to be presented that way. If I could point out one more scene, since Ian didn't have one, where he's like, it's actually just after like the chase and whatnot that we had mentioned, but like where he's goes to that guy's place to wait for him, and then it was like the point where he starts his memories. He's got a bottle of alcohol. He's like, I don't feel drunk. Like he doesn't know what's going on, and so he just like starts taking a shower, and then the guy comes back, and he's like, oh shit, I have to like fight this guy. I like how that one was done too. Like he's after the chase and is going to find him or whatever, wait for him, and then he just like forgets and he doesn't know what he's doing. He's waiting in his apartment for him, and
I like how he kicks the one door into that one guy. It goes to the wrong place.
Yeah, wrong apartment. Wrong room. Yeah.
Knock the dude out. Sorry, close it.
Yeah. That was pretty great too.
Yeah.
That poor guy, he doesn't even know what happened.
Now he has the memory condition as well.
There you go. There's a sequel.
Another more emotional scene that I really liked was earlier in the film. He's telling Natalie about how when he's like, sometimes he wakes up and he like rolls over to the side of the bed and realizes that it's cold, and he's like, where is she? And he like feels like she's just in the bathroom, and he's just waiting for her to come back, but she's not coming back. And so there's a point where you do see that where he's you hear a door slam and he wakes up, and you just see all these things scattered around the room. He reaches over for her, she's not there, and then he like starts talking to her like, babe, come back to bed, honey, Like it's late, and he gets up and walks into the bathroom and realizes it's just like a hooker. And then it restarts over, and you realize that he hired her specifically for that to kind of relive that.
Yeah. Oh, I like how the hooker was like super confused too. She's like, "That's it."
Never gets you off, dude.
Okay.
Right.
That was a good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I guess one thing I will say, it's kind of like multiple scenes in a way, but the black and white flashbacks of him talking on the phone, talking about the story of what turns out to be him, but like he made up a character and stuff. Can't remember his name. Sammy, I think.
Sammy Jenkins.
Yeah. I really like that aspect of it, but that's still kind of like multiple scenes that, still kind of plays out the same way as most everything else. So.
Yeah, and it kind of gives you a little bit of context as well, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really hard to pick favorite scenes with this one.
And that also ties into the end. Like if that wasn't in there, the ending would be a lot more confusing and harder to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first time I watched it, I wasn't as into that scene, that part, because it felt kind of, I couldn't see where it was going, and it was just kind of like, what's the point? Once it got more into him telling the story about Sammy Jenkins, I was more interested. But yeah, and then the moment where he's like scratching at that tattoo, and then he like pulls it off, and it says "Don't answer the phone," and so he like hangs up the phone.
Yeah. I was just sitting there like, stop scratching it.
Yeah.
As a tattooer, I was like, stop fucking scratching your tattoo.
I was gonna ask, like, since you're a professional tattoo artist now, how was the tattooing in this movie? How'd you feel about it?
Well, I mean, part of it he was like doing himself, so like, prison style tattooing on himself there.
Yeah.
Which I don't know as much about. I did notice that when he was doing the one in the actual shop, it was just like perfect lettering, and she had no stencil. I was like, she's the greatest tattooer ever, I guess. Like,
interesting.
Yeah.
I was watching those scenes, and I'm like, I wonder what William is thinking. I gotta know.
Yeah. A little insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like the way that they presented those scenes with the phone and stuff, because it's like they presented it in the same way of like what his character was thinking of, like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this person? But then, of course, in the reveals, it's Teddy or John, and then it's like, because it's almost presented with the envelope under the door, and the way you never hear the other voice on the phone. It's almost presented as if like there's a new character coming in, like, who's this guy? I just really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. I guess we kind of went through that stuff. We were talking about emotional moments, humor, He's talking about the when he kicks the door into the one guy.
Yeah.
It really wasn't a whole lot of more
Yeah,
for me anyway.
I mean there were a few moments, I guess, but it wasn't like it's not a funny movie, so it's not
Right.
gonna-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like another. I don't know if this goes under themes or what, but this another thing that I really liked was like earlier on in the movie how he was talking about how like he only deals in facts, and that's why he's sure about things, and he's been an investigator. He knows how to do all this stuff, and he talks about how like even memory isn't reliable and all this, like eyewitness accounts are not 100%. They're not. Memories can change, people can misremember things, all this and that and whatever, and that he only deals in facts. And then like towards the end of the movie, when Teddy starts revealing things to him and he starts like seeing different memories, he starts questioning, like he's remembering it one way, but then he has a glimpse of another memory, seeing it differently. And then it was kind of like, yeah, he doesn't know. He starts saying that he knows certain things for sure, but he's like having these flashes of memory of two different things, and so like it just kind of questions like even his memories that are there.
Yeah,
What is real?
and then he like changes the fact so that way he can remember something new and have
So well done.
Yeah. That ending too, that was like, I remember the first time I watched it, I was blown away by that ending. I was like, what? What do you mean she lived? What have we been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
So is it did they do you think they confirmed that like she was the wife in the Sammy Jenkins story, and so Leonard killed her by like giving her too much insulin?
I think so. That's what I was getting from it anyway.
Yeah, I kind of started like there was I can't remember exactly when this was, but there was a point in the Sammy backstory where it, for a split second, super fast, it showed him, the main character, and Sammy like switch places in the I think it was it was in the point when he was talking about how he's like gives people like a look of recognition, and he's sitting in the mental hospital or whatever, and he's like, everybody walking by, he's like showing that, and there's a point where somebody walks by the camera like up close, and it shows Lenny, Guy Pearce character there, and then it just like it's super fast.
It's a real fast, yeah.
Yeah, and then when that happened, and I noticed that, and I was like, oh, okay. I really like that.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's in that moment when he's talking about like where it's got him, because I think it was in the Sammy story. It was like after he gave his wife shots and stuff, and he was sitting in like a mental institution basically, and he was just smiling at all the doctors walking past him and whatnot.
He was talking about how you fake recognition because you feel like you need to recognize people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like at the very end of that part, you'll see Guy Pearce sitting in that chair for a split second. Really like that.
Interesting. So it's kind of giving you hints going forward.
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like there was something else. I can't put my head on it now. I feel like it was something about the wife or something. But yeah, there was like a couple hints with the just before the reveal. So, and after second, third watch, you might be able to pick up on more stuff. I feel like it's definitely kind of like one of those movies, but
Yeah.
the first watch is like real special. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the ending when he's just revealing all that stuff is like, especially because like at the beginning of the movie you see him kill him, and it's like, so at the beginning of the movie it's like, oh, this is the guy who did it.
Yeah.
So, like it is kind of interesting where it's like, this is the guy who did it, and then you're going back. It's like, well, we know who did it. Why do we need to know the rest of this?
Yeah, but also because it starts that way, it does kind of leave you feeling like what else is there to know? There's got to be something, otherwise we wouldn't have a movie type of thing.
Yeah.
So you're always like, I almost feel like by starting it that way, that like kind of instilled the doubt of like, is it the right guy or whatever, like right from the start.
Right. Yeah, because, like, isn't at the very beginning there when he's got him at gunpoint, he was saying, like, he's trying to convince him, and he's like, just go downstairs, go in the basement, and we'll see.
Yeah.
And then, like, at the very end of the movie, then you'll see him drag him into the basement. Jimmy there, he dragged Jimmy into the basement, and it's like, oh, wow, that connection. Very beginning, very end kind of connection there. It's really nice to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like little snippets of like, yeah, there's something up, something wrong, something fishy, and yeah, it's just great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reveal scene was really good, really well done.
Yeah, I agree. It is kind of sad though to realize like, oh, he's the one who killed his wife. He already got his revenge, and he's just basically this top is basically just being like, all right, let's just keep going.
Yeah,
just so you have something to do.
Right, dude. I think it was one of the scenes with him and Natalie, and she was talking about like, oh, if you get the revenge, or you won't remember it and stuff, and that kind of had me thinking, and I'm just like, she makes a good point, doesn't she?
It's like, oh, I'll remember. I'll take a picture.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Get a new tattoo.
Yeah, but too, and you kind of don't realize at that point, but like too, at this point, she knows that like he's killed her boyfriend already.
Right.
Because he's wearing his clothes and driving his car.
Yeah.
Like that was something like the clothes thing came into question a few times, and then like the car kept coming up, like Teddy keeps mentioning the car. And like you don't really find that out until like the very end also, of like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But also like when he goes to meet Natalie for the first time near the end of the movie, and he pulls up and she's like, hey Jimmy. Oh, sorry, I thought you were someone else. And then he walks into the bar and she's like, how dare you come in here dressed like that? What the heck? And you're just like, as an audience, like, he's wearing normal clothes.
Yeah.
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 No suits allowed in the bar.
I do feel like it was kind of weird that he told that guy to like strip because he didn't want to get any blood on it, and then he got into it. Like, I kind of didn't really understand the motivation for him to like just change clothes.
Yeah.
Personally, I was just kind of that kind of was just there to have scenes like that later on, and I didn't really feel like that part specifically. That's just a small little nitpick, but it still was just kind of like,
Yeah, like why is he actually?
and I feel like he didn't need to do that at all. But okay, like
Yeah.
taking the car, I understand because it's a nice car.
Yeah.
But the clothes part, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that is a good point. But unless it's really just like I can't remember things, so like I can literally just start this new identity and wouldn't even know that wasn't wasn't already who I was or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah. That's just a small little nitpick.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of nitpick, or not necessarily nitpick, I feel like this might have been an actual flaw or accident. I don't know. I could go back and look at this and be like, oh, it was just in my imagination, but I swear, near the end in the reveal scene, before Guy Pearce gets into the car, the green car, I see the back of somebody's head sitting in that car. And I just kind of, like, when I saw that, I was just thinking, like, a crew member just sitting there or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy, but I just noticed that, and I had to bring it up.
I didn't notice that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
It could be my eyes just playing tricks on me or something. My mind's playing tricks on me, but
We'll have to go back and look.
Back in my head. It was weird. It's kind of like blondish hair. But I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that
Potentially. Yeah. I didn't notice it, though. I didn't catch that. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I do really like, from what I've seen in his movies so far, I do like Christopher Nolan's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Very important for directors to do that,
Yeah.
They gotta obviously focus on the big stuff like the acting and everything else, camera work and all that. But when you got the details down for the most part,
Yeah.
everything, it's just really nice to see. But I know, I mean, obviously not experienced, but like just making videos and home movies and stuff like that, like I can definitely understand the difficulty of like continuity and everything like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I know. I'm comparing myself with Christopher Nolan. Stupid, I know.
I was about to say, I think it'd be really interesting to watch this movie in chronological order to kind of just see what that would be like. And I went to the Memento trivia on IMDb, and apparently on the limited edition DVD, if you go, you have to apparently answer several questions and then press a bunch of buttons to find it. But there is a cut of the movie that is in chronological order.
Wow,
okay.
That's neat.
Yeah.
I love too how you have to like answer a bunch of questions, like you have to already have seen the movie and know it well enough to even be able to get to.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is a neat thing.
Very nice.
You said
I
this.
have to look into finding that.
Yeah. You said it's like a special edition DVD?
Limited edition DVD.
Limited edition DVD.
Region 2 edition.
Oh, it's a Region 2 one?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a European release.
That's going to be hard to find then.
Potentially. Limited. Okay, so, well, he's what? He's English, so it's probably like the... I wonder if it's an English... Yeah, I would find it.
He'll find it.
Gotcha.
Seen his movie, he'll find it.
Yeah. But if we are talking about like flaws and stuff, I don't know necessarily a flaw, but there was one shot that kind of took me out of it for a minute because it was just kind of funny, and like it wasn't supposed to be funny. I don't think it was just like the way that it was edited and whatnot. It was funny, and it was like when Dodd or whatever first started coming after him, and they were in the vehicles, and so he like. The guy's behind him honking or whatever, and he's like, so he pulls over and he pulls up beside him and he's like, can I help you? And then like Dodd points the gun at him and then he just drives forward, but it's not, there was like no panic or ducking. It just like points a gun and then you just see him drive forward a little bit, but then he just parks and then the guy comes. It was just edited in such a weird way that I was just kind of like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, no, I remember seeing that. I forgot to bring it up, but yeah.
Yeah, that was that little tiny little bit in this fantastic movie reminded me of like, you know, the freaking Rooms and Samurai Cops of the film world. I was just like, what was that?
Yeah.
It's like
odd.
Yeah.
It could have actually been a mistake because how that scene plays out when it felt like he'd pull the gun when he actually, pulled the gun to like when he actually was parked.
Because it was like he pulls the gun while he's beside him, and then he drives away. But then he parks and lets the guy come up and get in the car before he pulls the gun again.
Yeah.
Like, it did just seem like there was maybe some confusion in the editing or something, and it just somehow still made it to the final cut. Or, maybe they couldn't go recut it, and they just had to, like, because of time and money, had to leave it in, even though there was a mistake there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that part was odd.
Yeah,
it took me out of it for a second. I was like, wait, what is that? What is happening right now?
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I felt the same thing. I just,
Yeah. So, even in a great movie like this, can still have a Samurai Cop moment,
Yeah. For sure.
Now we need to do Samurai Cop on the channel.
We should do Samurai Cop, yes.
I saw that on one of the streaming services the other day, and I was like, what? That's on?
Wow.
Didn't we had watched that at the trailer, didn't we? Like, all together, I think? Yeah. I thought so. Yeah, I have the Blu-ray still of it.
I think that's where I saw it was Tubi.
Tubi? Nice.
I think so.
Yeah. I love it.
That's one place it makes sense to be on. Tubi has all like
right.
Has great films and has really odd films.
Yeah. Let's see.
That was an editing. You kind of mentioned like a mistake there. That kind of was an editing mistake. So.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably what it was an editing mistake.
Yeah.
Or something.
Like, in terms of editing, I felt like this was a very... The editing for a movie like this and the way that it was portrayed with themes being jumbled all over the place, editing was very important. And I feel like it was done very, very well.
Yeah.
Aside from you just mentioned there.
Yeah, because it almost feels like they were doing a scene one way. He was going to pull the gun while he was in the car and start shooting at him or something, or try to drive away, and then they decided that didn't work so well, or they couldn't do a car chase thing or something, and they decided to do it the other way where he pulls up and then gets in, and then that way he can get out and then they can be on the foot chase. But it's almost like they just accidentally cut in some of the footage from like the first idea or something like that. Like, it just feels like something like that. Like, oh, we were going to do it this way. We filmed some of it, but then it wasn't going to work. And we did it this way, but then, some of it still got in there or something. Or they didn't have a good transition shot and they just like had to make it work with something that wasn't exactly what it was supposed to be. Something. I feel like it probably came down to time and money restrictions, maybe, to why they couldn't get it fixed or something. But like, I don't know. It seems like a little mistake.
Yeah, for sure. I can definitely understand that because I feel like I've also ran into that problem, especially. I think it was, I guess, a little bit of a plug-in here for our own film there, Death Arena 2. There's a few things in that movie. I think some of it I didn't even put in, but like I feel like there's some stuff that like shot transitions and stuff were just like not there, so I just kind of had to do the best I can with what I had.
Sometimes you just can't go refilm something, and you've only got what you have, and
that I was like editing it like 3 years till we filmed it in a whole different state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone in that film was living in a different state.
Yeah, and so I mean, same things can happen on a bigger production too, and maybe it is a similar situation where they kind of had to make do with what the footage that they had because they couldn't refilm anything or something. Like, I don't know. That's kind of what it seems like.
I think that's probably the best bet of what happened because the whole movie is edited so well, and then you just got that one little
yeah.
Weird.
I know and that's why it stood out so much too, because I'm like, everything else is put together so well. They must have had something where it was like, scheduling, money, whatever. They couldn't go reshoot what they needed to do, and just kind of had to make do with the footage they had to transition it as best they could, I guess. I don't know.
Yes, the editing, like I'm definitely into editing a lot more recently and stuff, doing YouTube or just Death Arena 2 was like that, that thing that really got me into editing. But like it's something that I am more on the lookout for with films, and this one was great in that regard. It really was. Everything was the way they had, like, they edited just that small little bit of something that they already showed to let you know that this takes place before this kind of thing. I was a big fan of that. I thought that was like really cool.
Yeah.
So it was like something that, like, visual cues that the audience can tie scenes together and whatnot.
Yeah. Gesundheit.
Bless you. Leave all this in.
Yeah, I'm not editing anything.
Edit that out, please.
No, I've been fired. Nathaniel fired me.
No.
I can't edit any of this.
You guys were silent.
Just uploading it as is.
I kept talking, but you guys were completely silent. Edit that out. Well, I will actually quit. I will not be on this podcast anymore if you don't edit that out.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think the pacing was also really good because it flew by. Like it's not a long film, but it's not really short either.
Yeah,
But
it's right about 2 hours, I think. Yeah.
yeah, but it
hour 50. It was like 115 minutes. Let's find out. 100.
hour and 53 minutes. So
114 minutes. According to the DVD.
Gotcha. So yeah, just about 2 hours.
yeah, and but it doesn't feel it. You don't feel it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like there was a point that I had to pause it just for like going to the bathroom or something, and when I paused it, I was like, "Oh wow, I watched that much already." I can't remember what time it was, but it was just kind of like "Oh wow, I've gotten through like almost half of this already." So it just felt like, you know.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like the length, like the pacing was just
Yeah.
really well done.
I feel like with these first two films from him, the pacing has been and the length has been like just right. Like they're exactly how long they need to be.
Yeah.
100% agree. And these are probably his shortest films too. I don't know for sure, but
I had a picture somewhere of his movies in order from longest to shortest, and I think these two were at the bottom.
Gotcha.
Oppenheimer one, Odyssey 2, and then following.
And not to say that his longer movies are too long, because I haven't seen Oppenheimer since the theater, but I don't feel like that was like I felt like that was what it needed to be.
Yeah,
I feel like the Odyssey was what it needed to be. It didn't feel long to me.
no. I always get more excited with longer films. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing when I go into a movie and I'm like, oh, it's 3 hours long, is like, I really hope they justify that length and they're not doing a long movie just to be a long movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually when it's Nolan, I'm like, all right, these probably justified it. But there are some other films where I'm like, especially if I don't know the director super well, I'm like, and usually it's an aversion to how the length. It's an aversion to like, are they trying to be a long movie or are they trying to tell a good story and it's just happened to be a long movie?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for me, I always get excited because it's like, it's kind of the same thing of like a long song or something. It's like, oh, this has more to tell than your typical movie or your typical song. I'm going to get more out of this than I would if it was,
Yeah, and because I do feel like most of the time, maybe if they're trying to be like Oscar bait or something, but like if they're trying to be a successful movie, you don't want it to be too long.
Yeah.
Because most people don't vibe with real long movies, like most people who haven't seen Lord of the Rings and hear about the length of it and they're like, what? A movie's that long? And you're, like people's attention spans get shorter and shorter. So like if you're wanting to sell a movie to the masses, you don't want a long movie. Unless you do it really, really well.
Yeah. Which is why, like, this is kind of going off on a tangent, but I'm going to go off on a tangent anyway. Why the Avatar movies are like just like, I don't understand how they're doing so well. Because I don't feel like they deserve the length. I haven't seen the 3, but I watched one a long time ago, and then I rewatched it not that long ago because my girlfriend wanted to see the third one with me in theaters, and then she went and watched 2 without me. And then I was like,
Dang.
well, you gotta rewatch it with me, and she was like, no, it's too long. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing with those is like how many people do go back and watch Avatar again? You know, they went to it because it's this big spectacle, and there are all these special effects and things we're doing are amazing. But it's like, if you don't go and rewatch a movie 10 times, was it a great movie?
Right.
I just feel like those movies are just for the spectacle. Like, I don't feel like the intention is to make a good story and present a well-written story. I just feel like it's just, it looks pretty, visuals, yay.
Yeah. And like, there's definitely some, some things are indeed a spectacle, and that doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad movie. I think The Odyssey is a bit of a spectacle, and that's why it's getting so, it's done as well as it has, but it's also, I think, a good movie also.
Yeah.
But Avatar is not a good movie. It's just a spectacle.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I guess I was about to say I'm not interested in watching it, but if we were to do it for the channel, I would watch it. I guess. We're not gonna do that for a long while.
If we do, I think, did I do Avatar for Movie Freaks way back? I did, didn't I? That's probably not even on YouTube anymore.
You had Ben and I feature on that. We wanted to do part of your video, and you're like, what movie you wanted to do?
That is, yeah. That is, yeah. That is old enough to where that is not on YouTube anymore. I think I have it on a DVD, but it's not on YouTube anymore.
Okay, if this channel, if Silver Screen Symposium makes it, and we make a Patreon, we're gonna have to release Movie Freaks on Patreon.
How much interest for 15-year or so old YouTube videos of tiny little minute to 2 minute long movie reviews? How much interest is that out there? Let me know in the comments.
Yeah,
you get to see all of us baby face.
Yeah. You're literally like 12 years old or something in those videos that they like.
Yeah. It was right around when like Ben and I were like really getting into movies, so like our whole like basis of if we liked a movie or not was like, did it have a lot of action? Was it cool? Did it hold our attention?
Right.
Yes. It was a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, some of those videos, I think maybe if I had a lot to say, it was like 3 minutes long. And then there was some, I think the Princess Bride one was like a minute long or something, like a minute some, like, I don't know, it was just so short.
I think the longest one was the Drunken Master Jackie Chan one. I think that was like at least 5 minutes, wasn't it?
Maybe, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look.
Maybe
I'm not even
you
sure.
had like special guests and stuff, but
yeah, if I had other people on, it was easier to make it longer because then it was like, okay, I'll talk about it, and then they can talk about it. But then some of them where it was just me and I didn't have a whole lot to say, I'd be like, yes, story good, action good, or action bad, camera good. Yeah. My humble beginnings as a movie reviewer.
I remember this one video. Sorry, Ian, you go ahead. You were talking first.
Sorry. Just know that all of our old stuff is such garbage, but
yeah,
it's funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
there was one video I remember that you did with your friend Gray, who I think has shown up on this podcast.
Yeah, we did the Batman with him.
Yeah, you did an episode of Movie Freaks with him, and you were talking about really bad actors, and you said, what's her name?
Jennifer Lawrence.
You said Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson were like horrible actors, and I'm like thinking back, and I'm like, they're the best two out of the Twilight franchise.
That was, I'm trying to remember, that was probably more Gray, because I hadn't seen Twilight, so it was probably him going off of that, because I probably hadn't even seen them in anything at that point, honestly.
Yeah, or maybe I know you guys dogged on Kristen Stewart and another one of the Twilight actors, and then Gray said we won't talk about we won't do all the Twilight actors. So it may have been Taylor Lautner, which Taylor Lautner is a bad actor.
Yeah,
he's really bad.
Yeah, that part was probably more Gray though, because I hadn't seen those. I know I dogged on Jennifer Lawrence a lot.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Trying to think who else I dogged on. Lots of people probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gray was actually in like the whole like second season that I kind of divided it up into seasons.
Yeah.
So there was a point where where it was me and Gray the whole time, and we would do like 2 movies and then do like a list all in one episode. Then I was like making the episodes longer. We'd do a good movie and a bad movie, and then we'd have like come up with a top 10 list. It might have been bad actors one of the times, or stuff like that. So those ones are also not on YouTube anymore. I have them on a DVD, but
yeah, I do think it's funny that he dogged on Robert Pattinson in that video, and then now he's on this podcast talking about a Robert Pattinson movie.
Yeah. Yep. But again, that was like somewhere between 10 and 15 years ago. We were doing those, something probably. We were teenagers, I don't know.
We're getting old. Guys.
We are getting old.
This is the part of the... This is the new section of the podcast where we start crying of nostalgia.
Okay, we did go off on a bit of a tangent. Get off a little bit. Let's reel it back in. We talked a little bit about some of the weaker parts or the mess ups and whatnot. Were there any weak characters, though?
I don't think so.
I don't feel like there were any weak characters. I feel like just the editing, or like the little bit of editing mistake was like the biggest thing for me that stood out. And then you kind of mentioned like the clothes thing too, that just kind of didn't make like a whole lot of reason behind that. But other than that, I don't really have any other complaints about the film.
Yeah, like characters were awesome, I thought.
Yeah.
Cinematography, really good. Writing, we kind of already gone into a lot of it in a way, but like...
The writing's fantastic on this one.
Yeah. I think the dialogue as well. While we're on, dialogue is really tight. I feel like there's very distinct characters in the dialogue. Like each character has a very specific way of talking, and each line that they deliver tells you more about their character, which is the way dialogue is supposed to be. And I thought that was really, really good, especially with the part where it's like with Natalie, where you think she's like a really good person, and then you realize she's just messing with him the whole time.
Yeah.
And there are like little hints dropping here and there, like when they're in the bed together, and he like leans over. And she wakes up and she like jumps like who are you?
Yeah.
Like if they were lovers, she probably wouldn't be jumping like that.
Right.
Like only me.
Yeah. Yeah.
The score stood out to me a little more. because I remember when I was talking about following, I almost thought that there wasn't even a soundtrack because it just didn't stick out to me. Not that that was bad. It didn't stick with me at all. It just blended, I guess. But like this one, I still think it blended very well, but I still noticed it and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to, again, I'm going off of one wash right now, but I definitely want to, give it another wash and look up soundtrack. I like soundtracks, but I kind of feel like sometimes, unless one just kind of sticks with me for whatever reason, just the style of it or just like the overall composition of it, if it sticks out to me, I'm gonna remember it, but I kind of just need to listen to it a little bit for me to actually like see if I like it or not. I don't know. I'm the music guy, but sometimes soundtracks just don't stick out to me,
Yeah.
and I don't want to just straight up say that that's a bad thing, but and from my point of view, it can sometimes be, because like I don't know what I'm trying to say right now.
I agree with you because I think music is another form of art and it's another form of storytelling, right? So it's one of those things that's driving the story. And if you are just doing generic music and you're not really doing anything to drive the story, which I feel like this is a huge, we can go into this in another video or another time, but I feel like movies today tend to just throw generic. They're not like, even like great musical composers are just making music generic, and they're not like doing anything that's supporting the story. And I think that could come down to the directors. It probably is because a lot of, like I said, a lot of times it is like really great composers.
Yeah.
So I think it's coming down to just directors just being like, just I don't know, or like not talking to the composer, like telling him what the story is.
Yeah.
I heard that when it comes, we can talk about this more when we get to Interstellar, but when Nolan was doing Interstellar, he just wrote like a 1-page like summary of the movie, and gave it to Hans Zimmer, and Hans Zimmer wrote the entire like the theme based off the short story, and then just built the rest of the soundtrack off that. And
Yeah.
that's, like I said, that comes down to the director communicating the story to the composer.
Yeah.
And I feel like it shines, the soundtrack shines and the movie shines way more when the soundtrack is really good in supporting that story.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody has any trivia or behind the scenes. I should have read some, but I didn't look ahead.
Yeah, I didn't really look up anything.
Watched this for the first time yesterday. I got nothing for that. So. It just has. We got. No, we do not have any kind of behind the scenes on this. Is just the normal. So it's special features, but it's just kind of like director and cast biographies, tattoo gallery. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of an old DVD.
I found out something kind of interesting on here. You guys
Hit
are
us with.
Yeah.
So, the Polaroid that slipped under Leonard's motel room door, showing him pointing at a bare spot on his chest. He tells Natalie it is reserved for when he finds John G. In the final scene, Leonard imagines lying in bed with his wife. The bare spot now has a tattoo that says "I've done."
Hmm.
No,
I did not notice that.
Me neither.
cool.
Very cool.
I do remember, like, oh, he's lying in bed with his wife and he's got the tattoos already. Which was, like, confirming to me that he has had this when his wife was still alive. But I did not notice that it was, like, that spot was filled, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely deserves a second wash to
Yeah.
catch all the.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's probably a lot of little details and stuff that would catch if watching again. This was my second time watching it, but it had been so long. It was almost kind of like a first watch again, honestly.
Right. I think casting was perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen Guy Pearce show up in some more of Nolan's movies. I felt like he did a really good job. Him and Nolan.
Yeah.
You know, but maybe, maybe they didn't get along as well as it feels like they did on screen. But
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen Guy Pearce in a ton of things either. Like, he's always really good when I see him, but haven't seen him in a ton.
Can you think of like what else he's been in?
Prometheus.
Well, I literally just thought of that
Yeah.
as soon as before you said it. I know he's not in it for much, but I know he's in The Road.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really liked that
never
movie.
seen it.
We might have to do that movie. I have the
Yeah.
book now. I want to read it, but I remember really liking that movie, and it's a story that I'm just like super interested in. So
Yeah. I can't honestly even think of that much other things that he's in at the moment.
That was Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah. Count of Monte Cristo. He's in that one, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I saw that at your house, actually, Nathaniel. Yeah.
Makes sense. My mom and
Yeah.
dad were referring to that movie for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good movie. It's a good
Yeah.
movie. But it was just, I don't know, it felt like a weird movie for my parents to be into. We watched a lot.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I really don't know what else he's in. I almost wanted to say Book of Eli, but that's Gary Oldman. For some
Yeah.
reason, he is one of those actors that like another actor pops into your head, and for me, as Guy Pearce and Gary Oldman are right there. It's weird. I don't know. Thinking
Yeah.
Guy Pearce, thinking of Gary Oldman roles. So,
yeah, he's a good actor. I thought he had retired. Like when I was watching this movie, I googled, "Is he still acting?" 'Cause I feel like I haven't seen him since Man 3. And yeah,
Yeah.
apparently he's still acting. That's nothing I've seen.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
Guy
I like
Pearce
it.
needs to do more. Directors, why aren't you hiring Guy Pearce more? Like,
yeah.
Maybe he's a butthead.
maybe.
Nobody likes him. And that's why he does this.
He's a big poopy. Yeah, who knows? I actually want to like, not that I would really recognize anything, but just looking through his credits, just to try to find something. But yeah, the only two things I can think of is this movie and The Road, and then Prometheus. The two things not including Memento, I guess. Prometheus and The Road, and that's really it.
Yeah.
I almost want to say there's something else that I've maybe seen him in, but I don't. I can't even. Not in there right now.
Yeah.
Not much can fit in here anyway, so this cat, yeah. Anyway, we're gonna move on. This podcast is not about how stupid I am.
Is it not? It could be.
It could be. Maybe I am the main character in Memento. Now my memory's all phasey and stuff. Who are you guys?
I don't know. I'm the Metal Gladiator. That's Bill Cams. I guess we kind of get into our final bits then, yeah.
I don't feel like there's a whole lot left to talk about.
Yeah, I feel like we've gone through everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously we're not going to talk about everything with all the movies we discuss, but like that would be nearly impossible for almost anybody to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people that watch it and be like, "You didn't talk about this. You didn't talk about that." Sorry.
If you want to talk about something, put it in the comments. Keep the conversation going. Yeah.
That's why we say that. That's why we say that.
Yeah.
We can't get to everything, so.
Yeah. I added a couple of things on our Odyssey one in the comments. Because I was like, there's a couple of things that I wish I had talked about.
Oh.
So, yeah, get on, you guys with your individual YouTube accounts, get into the comment section also. And,
Yeah.
We can keep talking about things.
Oh, yeah. So, who's going to go first? I will. Okay.
There we go.
I really, really liked Memento. This is, like I said near the beginning of this, this was one that I had high expectations for because I was hearing good things about it. I was hearing nothing but good things about it. So, been wanting to watch it for a while. Long, long while. And I gotta say, this was also one that my expectations were met. It's really good. It's a really good movie. I like the pacing. I like the acting. Everything that we talked about, it's pretty great. It's such a step up from Following for me. I really did like Following, but it just seemed kind of like there's only like so much you can do with that kind of story. But then it's like with this one, with his like memory thing, it's like, holy crap, you just opened up so much possibilities and creativity with that. It's so great. I just loved the whole premise of it. So really, so far, this is my favorite Nolan film. And I am going to be giving it a 9 out of 10.
Wow. Awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed it as well. I thought it was very well done. Editing, pacing, writing, dialogue, acting, everything just on point. Like I said before, it's like almost 2 hours long, but you don't feel the time at all. It just flies by. I love the plot twist at the end. I think it just it really does a good job of building everything up, and then delivering it. I do feel like the first half of like the black and white scenes are kind of slow, and it feels kind of almost weird. They're in there at first until you realize what's going on, but for the first little bit, it is kind of, I don't know, weird to get into. But it does have a lot of rewatchability. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It is definitely up there for me on Nolan movies. I think I do like it better than Following. I think I still like it better than The Odyssey. But we can get more into it when we film our overall. What do we call it?
When we list out our top 10, our top list or whatever.
Yeah, when we do our tier list.
Tier list, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right.
So I also, same thing all you guys said. Like, really love this one. It's very creative. It's very well done. I love how it flows. The way that a scene ends and then the next scene after that, you figure out how you get to the ending of the last scene. Like, it's really, really well done. I really enjoy this one a lot. I also gave it an 8 out of 10. For me, it is very much like riding the fence for almost a 9. Maybe after I watch it another time or two, it might be a 9. But then also that little bit of like what seems like a mistake with the editing that I had talked about and stuff, like that does just like, even though like I understand if it was a, like we talked about, or couldn't refilm, just had to make do or whatever, like I understand that, but it also does kind of just like bring it back just a little bit for me as well. So I'm like, I debated on giving it a 9, and like I said, maybe another watch or two I might change my mind, because I do think there's more things that I'll pick up on watching again, but 8 out of 10 for me.
I'm even second guessing a 9 now. I don't know. It's like,
Yeah, no, you're good. Like I said, I was on the fence for like I am almost there for me.
I kind of feel like the 9 is more of a forced watch for me, because I kind of feel like the magic of it is gonna be lost on the second watch. So I don't know. It might go down.
Yeah. Ratings can change upon multiple watches. So.
Yeah.
And the longer you sit with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I literally watched this yesterday. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first watch for this was just like the magic of like discovering the plot as it progresses and everything. That was like what really just drawed me into the movie. And yeah, it's just that's what it was for me. Now that I'm thinking about it, I honestly do feel like the rating will probably go down after a second or third wash. I don't know.
Well, I think don't change it because we said 8. Just
I know. I'm still gonna keep it at 9, but
stick with what you feel.
okay. Well, I can change it if I want, because it's my rating. You know, just to spite you, I'm changing it to an 8. Yeah.
Well, just to be different from you guys, I'm changing. No. Everyone just starts.
And then this video is like an hour longer because we just keep changing the rating.
Yeah. You know what? I decided after talking to you guys, I hate this movie now. I give it a 2 out of 10. It's terrible. It sucks. Nobody should watch this.
This is the greatest movie of all time.
That has happened to me before, though. I'm like really high on the movie, and then we'll talk about it for a little bit, and I'm like, I kind of want to go down.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, definitely go watch this movie. It's very, very good. It's great. We definitely recommend it. Next movie we're doing is Insomnia. That is Nolan's third film. Yeah, I think going into this, this one's going to be interesting because it's the only Nolan movie that's not written by Nolan. So, interesting. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the next one. So stay tuned for that. That'll be next Sunday. Yeah, and then like we said before, keep the discussion going on in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guess we'll.
I'm excited for Insomnia because I know nothing about it. Don't even know the actors or anything, so I'm going to keep it that way. Completely blind going into this one. Or the next one.
Yeah, I also don't really know anything about it, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This one has been fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate every one of you. Like, comment, and subscribe because we're keeping with this weekly schedule. And there's plenty of movies to watch, so give us recommendations too.
We're gonna go through all of them. We're gonna watch every movie, and we'll get to see us experience it right here on Silver Screen Smoke.
We're gonna be in our 90s still doing this, man. And we still will not be to watch every single movie. Yeah, thank you for watching.
We'll catch you guys in the next one. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen.